that really has to do with getting off to your side. Thinking about the motions of getting off to your side in a little bit of a higher level of detail, and use it to set up our two fundamental escapes from this position, which will go into a lot more detail, but today we're just going to focus on this motion. So if I'm here with Nick, we'll look for a couple angles. Nick's here in the side control, right? I'm braced under his neck, this hand is braced at his hip. When I get to my side here, it's very important that I do this properly, especially if Nick's bigger than me. Sometimes a big shrimp is not necessarily going to cut it, so if I bring my leg here and I aim to just shoot my hips all the way out, sometimes I can make nice space like this, sometimes I can't. If I really just need to focus on budging, particularly if he's got a good shoulder pressure, I think about a concept called ratcheting, and this is what we're going to talk about right now. Ratcheting is really this. It's about me just notching off to my side as much as I need to in order to get one of my limbs in. Again, if I can't use my hip muscles to, especially Nick, a bigger, stronger guy, just blow his arm way open to get a nice space like that, sometimes I have to just cut what I can make, especially if he's got good pressure here. So I brace off enough to free up my chin, and now what I want to do is I want to take my left hip conceptually and bring it to where my right hip is. And at the same time, I need to do that with my shoulders too. So if I do it with my hips alone here, sometimes this will cut it, sometimes it won't. See him still looking at the ceiling? Usually not a good sign. I might be able to get my knee in, but if he can keep me flat here, and I'm right back to where I was. I need to make sure as soon as I cut the angle with my shoulders, with my hips, and I ratchet here, I'm also pushing a little bit, bracing with this arm, and cutting my left shoulder underneath my right too. So I'm not turning into him this way. I can't turn my right hip and my right shoulder forward. I need to turn my left hip and my left shoulder underneath my right. So watch, with the hips it's easy, I cut, and then with the shoulders I'm going to brace and push off of Nick here. Now it's much harder for him to fight me. When I get a knee here and I'm gargling like this, it's much harder than when I just made space with my hips. I'm still flat here. If I can get that ratchet concept by bracing with this arm, boom. This is going to open up my two primary paths, which we'll talk about later on, which are the high road and the low road. So when I turn to my side, not only does it make it a lot easier to get to this escape, whether it's butterfly, half guard, closed guard, whatever, but when I'm on my side, it actually opens up the second option, which is my underhook. If I ratchet properly and I'm able to get off on both at the same time as opposed to just turning on the hips, it opens up a lot more escape options quicker, and it's often easier than one big shrimp like people often try to do from there. So the concept again, we're here, I cut that left hip under my other hip, and I bring my right shoulder under my other shoulder too, and I make sure I cut my angle in. So if he's got shoulder pressure, I brace off enough so that I can't turn him. And now all this stuff becomes more viable, this stuff becomes more viable, and I have all games I can build off of that. So that's video one, guys. In the next short video, we're going to go on a couple more details of the side control escape.